Hello, my name is Ron Youngworth. I'm standing here live in Omro, Wisconsin, and more specifically, I'm outside the St. Mary's Church in Omro. When my wife Lawanda and I graduated from college, we both made the decision to move away from Omro. And for 30 years, we lived away from the city, and always knowing that at some time we would move back and be part of the community again. 2 years ago, we finally had the opportunity to move back. One of the anticipated joys of moving back to Omro was to rejoin St. Mary's of Omro. As a young boy growing up here, I'd never really thought about looking into the history and into the roots of the church and how it started. So I thought I would spend a little time sharing with you that story and a little about the story of my history in the church. The church started back in the 1860s. It was established as a mission church, part of the resident mission church of St. Thomas in Poygan. St. Thomas Church in Poygan was a very special church in its own right. It was a church that was important in my family history. A lot of the relatives and ancestors in my family history were a part of that St. Thomas Church. That building still exists today. You can visit it. It's not a church that has regular masses anymore. The building, because of the work of a group of people that through donations and a lot of hard work on their part have kept it very well maintained. The church has a cemetery on next to it that I can go visit and see graves of special people in my family. My great grandpa and grandma are buried there. So it's a very special church in my family history and other families that have really built what the community is today. 1947 was a special milestone year for St. Mary's in Omro. That was the year it became its own resident mission church, and which meant priests would be serving here permanently. And that started the work of the red brick rectory. The construction of that started. The first priest I remember in my youth was Father Alan Jarakovic. He was the priest that did my first communion. The next priest I remember was Father Jerry Baressa. Summer sunny day, I was on this steps here with a friend playing. Father Jerry came out of the door and he popped the question of if we would be interested in being servers. I looked at my friend and he looked at me, and we really couldn't think of a reason of saying no, so that I became a server. And that was my first opportunity to be aware of what was really going on at Mass, and to pay more attention to the sacred mysteries that we were celebrating. So over the years, the next priest I remember is Father Joseph Matern. He was the priest that married Lawanda and me. And a few years after that, and then we moved away, and a few years after that, Father Joe retired, which ended the St. Mary's Omro having permanent priests. After that point, the priests from St. Raphael's and Oshkosh came here to do masses. Over the years, we've had so many special family events, other ceremonies, baptisms and marriages, and we've even had many loved ones that were brought here for us to say goodbye to. So that all those times make when I go through the doors of this church, to make me realize how of a special of a place it is. Probably an unexpected joy of moving back to Omro and being part of the church again was an opportunity to continue to meet extraordinary people that are continuing the church today. There are some extraordinary people that have made us coming back so joyful, and for us to really fit right back in and be a part of the community again. So that's a little bit of the story of the church and my history of the church, and hope you enjoyed hearing that, and we'll say goodbye from now from St. Mary's in Omro.